Welcome to Reclaiming Your Essential Self with Eve Kruger. So today I want to talk about Samkhya, the oldest philosophical system in India, the foundation of basically everything else we do in yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, all of it. And I'm going to walk you through the 25 tattvas, the 25 principles that make up reality according to this framework. Now, before you think, oh, great, more philosophy, let me tell you why this matters to your actual life. You're probably exhausted from trying to fix yourself, perfect your personality, optimize your body, upgrade your thoughts, heal your past, control your mind, transcend your ego. You're on the self-improvement hamster wheel, right? Always seeking, never arriving, always feeling like, something's wrong with you that needs to be corrected. And Samkhya reveals that you were never broken. The suffering you're experiencing, it's a case of mistaken identity. You think you're this body-mind complex that changes, ages, gets confused, makes mistakes, but that's not what you are. That's just what you're witnessing. Once you understand this framework, once you can clearly see what's you versus what's just nature doing its thing, everything shifts. You stop being terrorized by change. You stop fighting against your own nature. You find actual freedom, not the kind where you're trying to control everything, but the kind where you recognize you were never in danger in the first place. This isn't abstract philosophy. This is the map that shows you exactly where you're free and where you've been confused. It's liberating knowledge. The kind that, once you really get it, ends the exhausting delusion that you're this limited, vulnerable, mortal somebody who needs constant fixing. So let me tell you the story first, and then we'll map it all out. Picture this somewhere around 700 BCE, maybe earlier. A sage named Kapila is sitting under a tree, and people are suffering. They're caught in endless cycles, performing rituals that bring temporary relief, but no lasting freedom. They're identifying with what changes, this body, these thoughts, these roles. And so they're terrified of loss, aging, and death. They think they're bound by fate, by karma, by nature herself. And Kapila thinks, I need to map this out. I need to show people the entire architecture of reality so clearly that they can see exactly where they're free and where they're simply witnessing the dance of nature. So he creates Samkhya, literally enumeration. It's not just philosophy for contemplation, it's liberating knowledge. The kind that, once you really get it, cuts through the confusion and shows you that what you've been trying to protect was never actually in danger. This system becomes the backbone of everything else. The Yoga Sutras, built on Samkhya. Ayurveda, completely Samkhya-based. The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna teaches Samkhya to Arjuna right there on the battlefield. Why? Because if you don't know what you are versus what you're wearing, you're going to suffer. You're going to waste your life trying to perfect, protect, and improve things that are just nature doing what nature does. You're going to miss the one thing that actually ends suffering, recognizing what you really are. So let's map it out. We begin with Purusha, the witness. The first thing that Kapila wants you to understand is that you are Purusha, pure consciousness. You are the thing that begins it all. You are the one who's aware, not your thoughts about being aware, not the feeling of awareness, just awareness itself, unchanging, eternal, like the screen on which movies play, but completely untouched by any drama happening on it. This is what Kapila wanted you to know above all else. You are not the dancer, you are the witness of the dance. Because everything else we're about to explore, that's not you. That's your cosmic wardrobe. Next, Prakriti, the dance, begins. Before anything manifests, there's Prakriti, primordial nature, just sitting there in perfect equilibrium. The three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, are in perfect balance. Nothing's happening. Then consciousness, Purusha, that's you, looks at it, and boom, she starts dancing. The gunas start playing. Creation begins. Now, quantum physics is saying the same thing in our current time. But back to this, because this is presented as a cosmic love story. Purusha and Prakriti, spirit and matter, consciousness and nature. You looking at the mirror and the mirror reflecting back infinite worlds. The liberation lies in that this isn't something you're doing. It's something you're witnessing. So already you're off the hook for so much. And then the first evolutes Buddhi and Ahamkara. From this dance emerges Buddhi, cosmic intelligence, your intellect, the part that discerns and decides. This is the first and most refined product of Prakriti. It's your inner wisdom keeper, the part that can eventually recognize, oh, I'm not this. I'm the one aware of this. Buddhi also, not you. It's your very sophisticated processing system. And when you recognize this, that even your most brilliant insights, your clearest decisions, your wisest thoughts are Prakriti, not Purusha, something extraordinary happens. You stop trying to perfect your intellect and you start using it for what it's designed for. Viveka, discrimination, seeing what's real. Then comes Ahamkara, the ego, the I am this function. The ego creates this sense of being a separate somebody. That's its job. The ego isn't the enemy. It's just doing what Prakriti designed it to do. Create the illusion of individuality so this whole cosmic play can happen. And here's where most spiritual seeking goes wrong. People try to destroy the ego, transcend the ego, kill the ego. But ego is just a function of Prakriti. You don't need to destroy it. You need to stop thinking you are it. Next in this creation of life is the sense organs, your receiving stations. So from ego evolving through its sattvic aspect, 5 receiving stations emerge. Your sense organs, your ears, your skin, your eyes, your tongue, your nose. Kapila mapped these precisely because we're constantly hypnotized by sensory experience. We think, I'm seeing, when really, seeing is happening. Eyes are doing their job. You're the awareness in which the experience of seeing appears. This is crucial. When you stop identifying as the one who sees and recognize yourself as awareness itself, you stop being enslaved by what you see. You can witness beauty without clinging. You can witness pain without being destroyed. You can witness pleasure without attachment. And then from the rajasic aspect of ego, 5 transmitting stations emerge. Your action organs, your voice, your hands, your feet, your organs of reproduction, and your organs of elimination. Same principle, these aren't you, they're tools in your toolkit. You wouldn't think you are your hammer, right? Same thing. So connecting all of this is manas, the mind, your personal air traffic controller, bouncing between senses and actions, past and future, this and that. It receives from the 5 senses, processes, coordinates with the action organs. Watch your mind work sometime. See how busy it is. What's for dinner? Did I say that right? My knee itches. This is interesting. Wait, what was I thinking about? That frantic little coordinator isn't you. You're the one aware of it coordinating. Kapila wanted you to see this because people were walking around thinking they were their minds, completely identified with the chaos of mental activity. Still are, actually. Hence, suffering. You've probably spent years trying to quiet your mind, control your thoughts, stop the mental chatter, and it's exhausting, right? Because you can't stop the mind from minding. That's what it does. But once you recognize you're not the mind, you're the witness of the mind, then the whole game changes. The mind can be busy and you can be at peace. Now we go more subtle. Before physical elements, there are tanmantras, the essence. From the tamasic aspect of ego, these 5 subtle elements emerge. Shabda, sound potential. This is the possibility of all sound before any ear hears it, the vibration underlying all existence. And sparsha, temperature as pure qualities before skin registers them. Rupa, form potential, light and color before any eye sees, the visual blueprint of reality. Rasa, taste potential, flavor as pure essence, the 6 tastes in seed form. And gandha, smell potential, fragrance in its seed form, the quality before the nose. These are like source code for your sensory experience. Most people never even consider this level, but Samkhya maps it because this is where creation starts to get really dense, really convincing. But you are still the awareness in which even this appears. Finally, we get to the Mahabhutas, the 5 gross elements that make up everything you can touch, see, stub your toe on. Each tanmantra gives birth to a corresponding element. Akasha, ether, space. This is born from that sound potential, the openness in which everything exists, the space in your chest, the gap between thoughts, the room you're in, the vast sky. And Vayu, air, born from touch potential, movement itself, your breath, wind, the restlessness of mind, everything that moves. Agni, fire, born from form potential, transformation, light, warmth, the fire of digestion, metabolism, every chemical change, the sun itself. Jala, water, born from taste potential, flow, cohesion, the fluids in your body, tears, blood, rivers, rain, the ocean. Prithvi, earth, born from smell potential. It's solid, it's structure. Your bones, the ground beneath you, mountains, stones, stability. This is Prakriti in her densest, most solid form, the furthest point from pure consciousness, and yet still just a modification of the same creative principle. So here's what Kapila really wanted you to get. All of this, from your intellect to your left pinky toe, from your brightest insight to the earth itself, is Prakriti. It's the manifest world, 24 evolutes, dancing according to their nature. The gunas play, elements combine and dissolve, senses sense, the mind minds. And you're Purusha, the 25th principle. You're the unchanging awareness watching this entire gorgeous, complicated, ridiculous show. You were never born. You'll never die. You can't be hurt. You can't be improved. You're not in the game. You're the witness of the game. And why does this matter? Let's get real for a moment about why understanding this changes everything. Without this knowledge, you're going to spend your entire life trying to fix what isn't broken. You'll try to perfect your personality, optimize your body, upgrade your thoughts, heal your past, control your mind, transcend your ego. Whew! You'll be on an endless self-improvement hamster wheel, always seeking, never arriving. Because you think you are the thing that needs fixing. You think you're Prakriti, this body-mind complex that changes, ages, gets confused, makes mistakes, suffers. But Samkhya says you were never broken. You're Purusha, eternal, unchanging, already whole, always free. The suffering, that's just what happens when consciousness mistakes itself for what it's witnessing. When Purusha forgets it's Purusha and thinks it's Prakriti. Here's what shifts when you deeply get this. And it can take a while. You stop being terrorized by change. Your body ages, that's Prakriti. Your mind fluctuates, it's Prakriti. Circumstances shift, people leave, things end, all Prakriti. None of it threatens what you actually are. You stop fighting your own nature. The mind minds, the body does body things, the gunas play, and instead of trying to make it all stop, you learn to rest as awareness while the dance happens. You find your actual power, which isn't in controlling outcomes or forcing nature to behave. It's in viveka, discrimination, seeing clearly what you are versus what you're experiencing. That discernment is what dissolves suffering. You escape the spiritual ego trap. There's no you that gets more enlightened, raises consciousness, or evolves spiritually. There's only the recognition of what you already are. And the question of suffering itself becomes absurd. Once you see your Purusha, asking, how do I end my suffering, is like asking, how do I stop the screen from being affected by the movie? The screen was never affected. You just thought you were the character instead of the awareness in which the whole show appears. This is why every major system, yoga, Ayurveda, Vedanta, Tantra, rests on this foundation. Without it, you're practicing techniques in the dark, hoping they'll fix a you that was never actually damaged. With it, you have the map. You know what's nature and what's consciousness, where confusion happens and where freedom lives. This isn't philosophy for cocktail parties. No. This is the blueprint for liberation, though. So, what do you have control over? Technically, nothing. You're the witness. You don't control the witness, you are it. The question of control becomes absurd. It's like asking if the sky controls the weather. The sky just is. Weather happens in it. But here's what gets interesting. When you truly recognize yourself as Purusha, as pure consciousness, and stop identifying as all these 24 modifications of Prakriti, your Buddhi, your intellect, becomes clearer. Your Ahamkara, your ego, stops running the show quite so desperately. Your mind settles, and from that clarity, right action tends to emerge naturally. Not because you're controlling it, because you've stopped interfering with the intelligence of Prakriti herself. This is flow. This is the liberation Samkhya offers. Not control, recognition. Not power over nature. Freedom from the delusion that you were ever bound by it. So, there you have it. 25 tattvas, the complete map of reality according to Kapila. You, pure awareness, Purusha, watching everything else unfold. Prakriti in all her forms, from subtle intelligence to solid earth, doing what she does. The gunas playing, nature naturing, and all of it not you. Your temporary costume, your cosmic wardrobe. While you're eternal, untouched, free. Kapila saw this truth. The rishis verified it. The Vedas sing it. The Gita teaches it. And now you know it too. Not as new information, but as a remembrance. Welcome back, Purusha. Enjoy the show. You've got the best seat in the house. And you can never lose it, no matter how convincing the drama gets. Thank you for listening. I'm Eve, and this is the kind of wisdom we work with at Samkhya. Ancient truth for modern confusion.